This is Singles Travel International, South American Escape, and we have such an exciting tour next year. It's in March 2013, and stay tuned because at the end of our presentation we have secret savings, and the secret savings is just for all of you guys tuning into the webinar this evening, and we'll tell you a little bit more of that at the end. And we have a very special guest with us. This is Kristen, and she's our expert on this tour. So I'm just going to hand it over to her, and she can tell you what to expect next year.
Thanks, Andrea. Welcome, everyone, and thanks for spending a few minutes with us this evening. Very passionate about South America. Again, my name is Kristen Steele, and our Business Development Manager with Globus and Singles Travel International. Just returned from South America, but from Peru, which really kind of just piqued my interest to see more of what we have to offer down there. So as Andrea mentioned, you'll see on the next slide here a map of the South American Escape, which again is March 17th through March 24th of 2013. This particular tour starts in Brazil with 3 nights in Rio de Janeiro, 1 night in Iguassu Falls. Andrea, I'm guessing there's just a lag on the slides. Ending with 3 nights in Buenos Aires. Perfect, here we go. Now this particular, again, starting in Brazil, I mean, from the fiery passion that is Carnival to the secrets of the dark Amazon, for those of you who haven't been to Brazil, it's a country with palpable energy. I mean, it emanates first from the people, very passionate and full of life, and then stretches to the expanses of unexplored rainforests, pristine tropical beaches, winding rivers, and finally culminating into the heart of some of the most popular cities. So as tourists, when we're visiting, really we just don't want to miss some of the thundering Iguassu Falls we'll talk about in just a second, some of the spectacular natural wonders. If shopping's on your agenda, Brazil's major cities are filled with not only weekend markets, cosmopolitan malls, and then of course just to indulge in the food alone. So on day 1, basically, we arrive in Rio. Some of the highlights, again, welcome to South America. You meet your tour director and your traveling companions for a drive along the famous Ipanema and Copacabana beaches, and then basically to the base of Sugarloaf Mountain. We'll see a picture here on the next slide where you actually ascend by cable car to its summit. And then, of course, you savor the spectacular vistas of the city. Next, we enjoy a special cocktail party on the beach, toasting to the start of a memorable vacation. One of our favorite Brazilian cocktails, Ciprianos, coming up here on the next slide, and then a welcome dinner at the hotel. Now, Monday, which is day 2, we will, there's our drinks. We can't forget those, the highlight, the national drink of Brazil. Now, the next day here, you'll see a slide of Christ the Redeemer, which crowns Corcovado Mountain. And this rounded peak rises 2,300 feet from the bay below. What's really neat, and we did this in Zurich, but you take this cog railway, which leads to the top, where you have these breathtaking 360-degree panoramas, which really affords sweeping views. From here, we proceed to bustling downtown Rio. What you'll find here are more like modern office towers, obviously the relics of the Portuguese colonial past. You'll see here coming up in the next slide where we visit the Sambodromo and we visit the famous cathedral. Now, what's nice about this particular tour that Singles Travel International has put together, you will have lots of scheduled tour time with traveling companions, but you will be able to wander, shop, and have a nice balance of leisure time at your own pace as well. As a matter of fact, on day 2, after we tour Corcovado and Christ the Redeemer, downtown, the cathedral, you'll see some of the shots here on the next screen as well. That afternoon and that evening are at leisure for you to experience the vibrant city on your own. Maybe you have made friends with others on the tour already, which you can go out and kind of check out the town. Now, one of the optional excursions that evening you may want to opt to join in on. It's a fun outing to like a churrascario for a feast of barbecued meats. Andrea, I guess the slides are sticking a little bit here. Oh, okay, we can keep going. Barbecued meats marinated and roasted over charcoal in true Brazilian style. and that is followed by a samba show, which again, we get VIP seating, where the sheer vitality of Brazil really explodes in a colorful extravaganza, which is absolutely breathtaking. Moving on to day 3, we'll have a couple more slides here before we get to day 3. I guess there's probably a little bit of a delay here, everybody, so we'll just keep on going. I know you can follow along. But day 3, which is Tuesday, you will have a full day at leisure in Rio. And again, being one of the most famous cities in Brazil, you'll want that extra time, really, as we said, to check out some of the shops, the markets. You may want to visit Rio's Botanical Garden. It's an enchanting place where you can spend an afternoon. Make sure you bring a camera. It has 6 ponds crowded with just gorgeous flowers, papyrus. It's a magnificent sight. In Ipanema, you can have drinks at a bar called Garota de Ipanema, where the actual girl from Ipanema passed by each day. And this is where the famous song was written. So the neighborhood there also has craft markets known as the Hippie Fair, galleries, and fabulous jewelry shops. Again, then when the sun sets, day 3, it's time for Rio's famed nightlife to begin. It's all here. Beautiful people, great food, and a progressive mix of bars, lounges, sophisticated clubs, and special events as well. So lots to see and do on this 3rd day of your journey to Brazil. Now, day 4, so now we've had a little bit of leisure time, we actually fly to Iguassu Falls. One of the nice features of this particular vacation is you see the falls from the Brazilian side and also the Argentinian side, which makes a really nice contrast of how the falls, where you're up on the high side of Brazil and then you go down to the lower side. And you'll see a photo here in the next slide as well. So once you land, the afternoon is dedicated to enjoying the magnificent panorama of waterfalls. The spectacle of this 2-mile-wide torrential downpour, really, with some cataracts as high as 250 feet, it's really nothing short of hypnotic. The clouds of spray, the incessant roar, the surrounding luxuriant tropical growths really make this an unforgettable natural wonder to see. So for those of you who have this on your bucket list, I highly recommend it. It's definitely on mine as well. So you'll see the slide here. Now, what we've done is spend the 1 night in Iguassu Falls, which a lot of companies will kind of just move you through pretty quick. We take you back on the next morning, and you take this ecological jungle train throughout the falls and spend an afternoon. So the Argentinian side before you fly to Buenos Aires, again, so you can see the nice contrast of the 2 different sides of the falls. Now landing, moving on to Buenos Aires, and we'll have a few more slides here as well. Buenos Aires, for those of you in Argentina who have never been, it's a myriad of cultural delights. I mean, some of the remnants of its vibrant history, they're still felt today. Its proud residents approach their lives with such a zeal for life, and it's rarely seen elsewhere. Some of the Argentina national parks are some of the best places to observe the country's incredible wildlife, mountainous vistas, enigmatic, of course, Iguassu Falls. You can ride horses, you can bird watch. Again, depending on the time of year, not so much in March, but there are some, in the Andes, some skiing, of course, and then the mandatory afternoon siesta as well. So here's that other slide we mentioned, how you'll see the slides, the falls from the high side up on Brazil, and then you see them at the base of the falls on the Argentinian side as well. So back to Argentina now. So when we get to Buenos Aires, it's really you'll have some sightseeing included, but there really is so much to see. The festivities abound. There's the barrios, Puerto Madera, Recoleta, famous cemetery. The shopping, again, we recommend another suitcase. There's hole-in-the-wall street markets, antique shops, galleries and boutiques. Again, the cuisine, the tango shows as well. So much to see and do here. So after arriving at your hotel in Buenos Aires, we actually include a nice little walk, orientation. It kind of acquaints you with the Paris of South America, really, is what we call it. It's wide boulevards, outdoor cafes, and what's nice here is you have another evening at leisure. So this vacation will have a nice mix for you. Some evenings with your travel companions. Some evenings if you again, make friends, you want to go out, explore, be with the group or not be with the group. You have that option as well. So on Friday, now again, this is a 7-night vacation. So your included sightseeing this morning starts in La Boca, which we just saw here as a colorful district. And it's a site of the city's first port. We take a short walking tour of this unique neighborhood at the mouth of the river, and then on to San Telmo, which is famous for its late colonial buildings, popular gathering spot for artists. At the Plaza de Mayo, we see La Casa Rosada, which is actually the president's pink house. And then what we're looking at here, which is the Metropolitan Cathedral, which houses San Martin's mausoleum. Now, as you see the photo, the cemetery of the Recoleta, again, after driving by the Cologne Opera House, this actually here, the cemetery of Recoleta, is the burial site of famous Eva Perón. Now this afternoon, you've been touring. You've been doing some touring, some sightseeing with everybody. So now we're going to have an afternoon at leisure. Again, this evening, you have you savor the atmosphere of this cosmopolitan capital on your farewell evening excursion. This dinner that is included, it's followed by a show, again with VIP, preferred seating, which really feature flawless performances of Latin America's most sensual dance, the tango, which I think some of you out there have probably done before. Now, Saturday is our last day, you'll see here, and you have a day at leisure. So you could shop, go back to any of the famous sites, or you could consider an optional excursion to the Pampas. That's kind of an experience of the atmosphere of this Argentine country. And you visit an estancia, which is a ranch, get acquainted with the lifestyle of the gauchos, enjoy a barbecue lunch, warm hospitality of your hosts before returning to the city. So we want you to feel comfortable knowing that when there is leisure time, should you not want to go out and explore on your own, depending on, your group or how adventurous you are, there are optional sightseeing that you can add on to, like this Fiesta Gaucha that we were just talking about as well. Now, one of the other benefits of traveling with Singles Travel International really is, beside the VIP access, the hotels are centrally located. Your tour directors are amazing. They have an average of 14 years experience. So not only will they tell you what you're seeing and the history, they're entertainers. They are history buffs, storytellers, comedians sometimes. So they really bring the destination to life, which makes it just, even that more memorable. The first time I took one of these particular tours, it was the first time as an adult, because remember, I'm in travel. So anywhere I go, regardless of who I'm with, I'm in charge. I'm in charge of how we're going to get, where are we going to get there, what time is it, how much is it, when does it cost, what's the travel time. So to really sit back and enjoy the vacation, not worrying about where to park, am I going to get there on time, all those little details, baggage handling, that's all taken care of for you. So you show up, you enjoy, you meet your travel companions, and you really do immerse yourself in the destination. Now you'll see here that this package price, starting for the land, is $2,849 per person, and that does include the single accommodation. I'm going to turn it back over to Andrea here in just a second, but that also includes breakfast daily. It includes three-course dinners, which include the welcome dinner in Rio, the cocktail party, and then a special farewell dinner with the excursion to the tango show in Buenos Aires. The hotels are all superior or first-class hotels, you'll see here. And you can add flights through Singles Travel International, or if you have airline miles, you can redeem those as well. Now on to the surprise, Andrea, with the interest we've already seen in this particular vacation. Maybe Andrea is muted. She might be unmuting. There we go. Okay. You there, Andrea?
Yep, our secret savings tonight. Anyone who books before midnight gets $100 off. Now, STI just started a First 5 club, and the first 5 bookings for this trip receive an additional $100 off. Now, we already have 2 bookings. It was Amanda and Labita, and they did receive their $100 off, so we have 3 more available for the First 5 club. So if you book tonight, if you are the first 3, you'll actually get $200 off. Person with Globus are giving you $100, STI is giving you $100. But after, if you're the 4th person, 5th person, 6th person tonight, you still receive $100. So next 3, $200, and anyone else this evening, you get a guaranteed $100 off your trip. And
well, that's very generous.
Yes, I was so excited to tell everybody this evening. That was our secret savings surprise. And actually, after all of our webinars that we host with STI, we will have secret savings for you if you attend our webinar. So look out for those if you're interested in any more trips as well. And if you would like to book, how do you book? You go onto the Singles Travel International website, and you just look underneath Find Trips. South American Escape is here. And we also have a link on our homepage as well. And here it is. You can look at all the details, book now, and sign in, of course. And this trip is wonderful, as Kristen said, and this really reflects our preferred partnership with Globus and STI. So we hope you enjoyed everything tonight. We want to say a special, special thank you for Kristen. She did a wonderful job explaining the tours, and we hope everyone's very excited and you come join us with this tour next year.
Well, we hope to. And actually, I may join you all on this tour because it is on my list. So if there's still space when they let me out to come play, may join some of you.
And I also want to mention that we have a single spot guaranteed for anyone who books this evening. If you would like a single occupancy room, we have 1 more guaranteed, and after that it's a case-by-case basis. So get in there if you want your own room, or if you would like to share a room with a friend if you're not sure yet, of course you can book it. And that's what's great about Singles Travel International. You never travel alone, and we'll buddy you up with somebody. And if you're thinking about maybe a friend will book with you, you can always book first and get your savings, and then we'll keep you as a TBA roommate if you had a friend in mind, and they can book a little bit later.
Yes, and Andrea, with that said, isn't it there's a reduction if they end up sharing? That price there is for a single room.
Yes, correct. There's a reduction, and that you can actually look at if you go to Book Now and go through the booking process, and you can choose your single or your double.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Everyone have a wonderful evening, and yeah, take advantage. $200 off next 3 people. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Kristen.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.